Hey guys, Dex here, and I'm going to show you how to play this groove. So basically what's going on is the hi-hat is just kind of ticking away 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we've got some open hi-hats in there which are fairly straightforward to do, but the tricky thing is doing those open hi-hats with the kicks in there as well. So we'll come to that in a minute. But the hi-hats, you're just going to have a hi-hat that's closed, a hi-hat that's open, lifting your foot up, a hi-hat that's closed, and a hi-hat that's open. So you've got closed, open, open. And what I like to do to make it sound a little bit more aggressive and cool is I play the hi-hat kind of tip of the stick on the hi-hat there when it's closed, and then when I open it up, I actually go into the shoulder of the stick and kind of dig into the cymbal a little more. So you've actually got more of a... So kind of tip of the stick and then kind of digging in for those open hi-hats. And then at the end of it, it's just 4 closed hi-hats. So the second half of the groove is quite easy. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But when it comes to the kicks in there, that can really throw it out. So we're going to play a kick and a hi-hat together and then a kick and an open hi-hat. So closed hi-hat with the kick, open hi-hat with the kick, and then it's the snare and the closed hi-hat, and then a kick on its own. And this is the syncopated kick, the one coming in between that's a little bit tricky. So up to there again. Kick, kick, snare, kick on its own, and then a kick and an open hi-hat. So that little 3-note phrase in the second part of the groove there, snare and closed hi-hat, kick on its own, kick and an open hi-hat, that's the problem area. And that's what we're trying to get at, nice and clean. So taking it slow, snare and closed hi-hat, kick on its own, kick and an open hi-hat. Just that on its own. And again, still trying to keep that intensity. Because you're having to focus on the kick, it can throw off the open hi-hat. By the way, you can try this whole groove with all closed hi-hats. That's a little easier to start with if you're finding it tricky. And then bring the open hi-hats in later. You're trying to kind of work on it in layers. And then putting it all back together, the bit at the end is just kick and snare and. So nice and quite straightforward. It's just putting it together. Sounds like this. So you can see it can get quite exciting as you speed it up, and this is why we're trying to work on these things at slow tempos, even though they might not sound ever so musical when you're playing them slow. That's why a lot of people are, this doesn't sound very good. And you're got to go through that kind of grotty, rubbish sounding groove to kind of get to the good stuff. So stick with it. By the way, guys, if you need any help with this stuff, I do teach the drums. Please get in touch if you'd like a one-on-one lesson. I do it all online. We'll get together and we'll get better at the kit. And for everything else, please check out Drumdex.